Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nārayaṇam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. By His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We are reading from Canto 4, chapter 8. Dhruva Mahārāja leaves home. So we are in the section where Dhruva's mother, Sunīti, she has comforted Dhruva and she is directing Dhruva to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now look at the verses. These are just 7 verses, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 7, 8 verses. And Dhruva's life is completely changed. Right. And thus we enter the next section of Bhagavad of the chapter. Now Dhruva Mahārāja is going to leave and he will be tested by Narada Muni. Text 24. Maitreya uvacha evam sanjalpitam matur akarnya arthagamam vachah sanniyam atmano atmanam nischakramah pituh purat. Translation.
The great Sri Maitreya continued. The instruction of Dhruva Mahārāja's mother, Sunīti, was actually meant for fulfilling his desired objective. Therefore, after deliberate consideration and with intelligence and fixed determination, he left his father's house. Purport. Both the mother and the son were lamenting Dhruva Mahārāja having been insulted by his stepmother and his father's not having taken any step on this issue. But mere lamentation is useless. One should find out the means to mitigate one's lamentation. Thus, both mother and son decided to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord because that is the only solution to all material problems. It is indicated in this connection that Dhruva Mahārāja left his father's capital city to go to a secluded place to search out the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the instruction of Prahlad Maharaj also that if one is seeking peace of mind, he should free himself from all contamination of family life and take shelter of the Supreme Godhead by going to the forest. To the Gaudiya Vaishnava, this forest is the forest of Vrinda or Vrindavan. If one takes shelter of Vrindavan under Vrindavaneshwari, Śrīmati Radharani, certainly all the problems of his life are solved very easily. Hare Krishna.
Thus, these instructions of Sunīti were meant for fulfilling the desired objective. What is the desired objective? He wanted to have a place which is from where he will never be stripped of. Adhalpada, right? And therefore, two things. He, with deliberate consideration, with intelligence, and with fixed determination, Pituh Purat, he left his father's city. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, mere lamentation is useless. Mother is lamenting, child is lamenting, both are crying, but only crying is useless. One has to take concrete steps, and the first concrete step is taking firm shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in this case, Vanam Gatoyat Harimashriyeta, as Prahlad Maharaj also recommends to his father, that my dear father, Now you should go to Vana, and specifically Prabhupada says for a devotees, Vana means Vana which is named after Vrinda, Vrinda Devi, that is Vrindavan, and taking shelter of Vrindavaneshwari, that is Śrīmati Radharani. So here, Dhruva Mahārāja is going to do something similar. He is going to come to Madhuvan forest. Text 25. नारदास्तत् उपाकर्ण्य ज्ञात्वा तस्य चिकीर्षितम् स्पृष्ट्वा मूर्ध्वनि अगद्घ्नेन पाणिना प्राह विस्मितः. Translation.
The great sage Narada overheard this news, and understanding all the activities of Dhruva Maharaj, he was struck with wonder. He approached Dhruva, and touching the boy's head with his all-virtuous hands, he spoke as follows. Purport. When Dhruva Maharaj was talking with his mother, Sunīti, all of the incidents that had taken place in the palace, Narada was not present. Thus, the question may be raised, how Narada overheard all these topics. The answer is that Narada is Trikalagya. He is so powerful that he can understand the past, future, and present of everyone's heart, just like the Supersoul. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, therefore, just like the Supersoul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, after understanding the strong determination of Dhruva Maharaj, Narada came up to help him. It may be explained here in this way: the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everyone's heart, and as soon as he understands that a living entity is serious about entering devotional service, he sends his representative. In this way, Narada was sent to Dhruva Maharaj. This is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Guru Krishna Prasadipaya Bhakti Lata Bij. By the grace of the spiritual master and Krishna, one can enter into devotional service. Because of Dhruva Maharaj's determination, Krishna, the Supersoul, immediately sent his representative, Narada, to initiate him. Hare Krishna.
Naradastav upakaranya. When Narada heard this, Jnatva tasya chikirshanam, and then he was Vismita, he was really Vismita, he was very, very surprised with this kind of a determination. Small boy, some instance, he took it extremely seriously, and mother also guided him in a extraordinary way, phenomenal way. And Narada, he arrived, touching the boy's head with his all virtuous hand. Agagnena panina. He began to speak with this boy. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that there is no mention of Narada Muni present in the assembly where this instance took place, but Narada is Trikalagya. And therefore, at times, by the mercy of Bhagavan, he is also as powerful as Bhagavan, knowing past, present, and future of everyone's heart. Now look at these words, right? Because the intention was clear that he's going to the forest. So he walked out of the city. But the determination was unspoken, right? That the kind of tapasya Dhruva is going to do, that determination is unspoken. It's in the heart of Dhruva Maharaj. But Narad Muni very beautifully knew the heart of Dhruva also. So this is the potency of a great personality like Narada Muni. Srila Prabhupada says this is actually can be explained very well that the Supreme Lord is Antaryami, he is Paramatma, and he is in touch with the Paramatma in the heart of a disciple, is in touch with Paramatma in the heart of Guru. And thus, when the disciple is ready, Guru arrives. Guru Krishna Prasadipaya Bhakti Lata Bij. And, so therefore, it is said that by the mercy of Krishna, one receives a Guru, bona fide spiritual master, and by mercy of Guru, one will receive Krishna. And this is how, exactly happening in the life of Dhruva Maharaj. Now Narada Muni began to speak. Aho teja kshatriyanam manabhangam amushyatam balapi ayam rida datte yatsa matu asat vachah. Translation.
How wonderful are the powerful Kshatriyas. They cannot tolerate even a slight infringement upon their prestige. Just imagine, this boy is only a small child, yet harsh words from his stepmother proved unbearable to him. Purport. The qualifications of the Kshatriyas are described in Bhagavad Gita. Two important qualifications are to have a sense of prestige and not to flee from battle. It appears that the Kshatriya blood within the body of Dhruva Maharaj was naturally very active. If the Brahminical Kshatriya or Vaishya culture is maintained in a family, naturally the sons and grandsons inherit the spirit of the particular class. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, the sanskara or the reformatory system is maintained very rigidly. If one fails to observe the reformatory measures current in the family, one is immediately degraded to a lower standard of life.
Yeah. So he's saying, Aho, oh alas, you see, Teja Kshatriyanam Mana Bhanga Tamushyatam. That he is just a small child. Bale Pirdhadatte. How wonderful are the powerful Kshatriyas. They cannot tolerate a slight infringement upon their prestige. It's just like, you touch the tail of the snake and the snake will, the cobra will just stand suddenly 6 feet high, tall. The cobra will be there too. So this is how the Kshatriya spirit is. He's only a small child, afflicted by the mother's harsh word. And it became, the condition of Dhruva was like, he's hissing, he's Nishwasanti, very deeply hurt. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains these are the qualifications of Kshatriya. So we know the Kshatriya, there are two things, that he has the sense of prestige, mana, and that is very important for Kshatriya. And also, he has Yuddhe Chapi Apalayanam. He will never leave the battle. Right? The classic example of mana is Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. Of course, there are many, many examples. But you know that when I had seen that movie, right? How the extreme torture, but he said, no question. Right? I am Sanatani, and that mana was, you cannot just imagine the torture that was that was inflicted upon Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. And second is Yuddhe Chapi Apalayanam. They will never run from the battle. And therefore Prabhupada says the Kshatriya blood was flowing within the body of Dhruva Maharaj very naturally. It was very active. And thus, this Brahminical, Kshatriya and the Vaishya bloodline has to be maintained in the family with proper samskara. It is very important. With proper samskaras. And therefore, different samskaras, that reformatory systems have to be maintained very nicely. And that's what Arjuna's major problem was in Bhagavad Gita fighting. He was saying that Kula Dharmascha Shashvata, my dear Lord, Kula Dharmas will be gone, Kulachar will be gone, the Patanti Pitaro Yesham, all these things will be ruined if I just fight this mindless battle for this stupid Duryodhan, who is Yuddhe Chikirishitam, always eager to fight. And thus there is always a chance that one will degrade oneself from the current system. So this is very important. And Kali Yuga, this is bound to happen. And therefore Kali Yuga comes with Mahamantra, just to deliver everyone at once, wherever they are, with any background or no background. And that is the potency of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Another thing is, in devotee dealings, in dealings with people, personalities, one has to be careful of, the particular swabhav of a personality. And just don't touch their, the touchy points. Very simple it is. Like, some people just cannot tolerate uncleanliness, being unclean. They cannot tolerate. Some people just cannot tolerate being. So we have to know what this person tolerates, what this person doesn't tolerate. And, at least one can make a good relationship by, not touching those touchy points. by knowing the swabhava of the personality, by knowing the samskara of the personality, and what they value and what they otherwise. Text 27. Narada uvacha nadhuna api avamanam te sammanam vapi putraka lakshayam kumarasya saktasya kridanadishu. Translation.
The great sage Narada told Dhruva, "My dear boy, you are only a little boy whose attachment is to sports and other frivolities. Why are you so affected by words insulting your honor?" Purport. Ordinarily, if a child is rebuked as a rascal or fool, he smiles and does not take such insulting words very seriously. Similarly, if words of honor are offered, he does not appreciate them. But in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, the Kshatriya spirit was so strong that he could not tolerate a slight insult from his stepmother, which injured his Kshatriya prestige.
So Narada Muni, he approached and Narada said, of course, he is placing his all auspicious hand on the head of Dhruva and he's saying, my dear boy. So Narada is saying, beta, you're just a small boy, little boy, who should be attached to Krida Adishu. You should be attached to Krida Saktasya, right? So there is a very beautiful verse by Shankaracharya who says, Balavastha Krida Sakta, Tarunavastha Taruni Rakta, Vriddhavastha Chinta Sakta, Pare Brahmani Kopi Na Sakta. So Balavastha Krida Sakta, you are supposed to be a balak and you should be simply be enjoying Krida. What are you taking this so seriously? Some words mother spoke something harshly with you, and why you are taking it so seriously? In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, ordinary, a child is rebuked that, as a rascal or a fool, he smiles and does not take such words very seriously. Marathi Madhe, the very simple is bowlet. we just call children bowletes, Shantubas. Okay, something like that. The child is not like, he's offended and leaves home and goes to do some tremendous tapasya. They will, and one has to be very careful when they approach teenage and later what otherwise seemingly a very harmless word, suddenly they can pick up that word and suddenly their sense of prestige may arise also. So teenage parenting, one has to be careful with this. But here in this case, Dhruva Maharaj's Kshatriya spirit was extremely strong, right? And therefore he could not tolerate any of such words which affected his Kshatriya prestige, and therefore he gave extreme reaction. Bhagavatam is extreme literature, by the way. That is like every Bhagavatam is a personality. Every personality has a nature. So Bhagavatam examples will be, way beyond extreme examples. Text 28. Vikalpe vidyamanepi nahi asantosha hetavah pumso mohamrite bhinna yalloke nija karmabhi. Translation.
My dear Dhruva, if you feel that your sense of honor has been insulted, you still have no cause for dissatisfaction. This kind of dissatisfaction is another feature of the illusory energy. Every living entity is controlled by his previous actions, and therefore there are different varieties of life for enjoying or suffering. Purport. In the Vedas, it is said that the living entity is always uncontaminated and unaffected by the material association. The living entity gets different types of material bodies because of his previous fruitive actions. If, however, one understands the philosophy that as a living spirit soul, he has an affinity for neither suffering nor enjoyment, then he is considered to be a liberated person. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18.54, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. When one is actually situated on the transcendental platform, he has nothing for which to lament and nothing for which to hanker. Narada Rishi first of all wanted to impress upon Dhruva Maharaj that he was only a child. He should not have been affected by words of insult or honor. And if he were so developed as to understand honor and insult, then this understanding should have been applied in his own life. He should have known that honor and dishonor are both destined only by one's previous actions. Therefore, one should not be sorry or happy under any circumstances. Thank you, Prabhu.
So Narada said, see, he said, my dear Dhruva, if you feel your sense of honor has been insulted, still there is no cause of dissatisfaction. Because all this honor and dishonor is going to come according to your karma, your past activities. So Narada, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that the living entity is actually uncontaminated and unaffected by material association. But the living entity gets different situations based on the karma that he has created. Right. But originally the living entity is Brahmabhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Now here Narada Muni's logic is, Narada Muni says, if you are a child, you should be krida sakta. Simply, just enjoy, play games, forget here and there, some calling here and there. If you are a mature adult, then you should understand the philosophy and just tolerate sukha and dukkha, which will come, which is inevitably come as part of one's life, correct? Because of one's previous activities. So either you are a child or you are an adult or mature person. In both cases, you should tolerate these things and don't be, bent upon doing something what you are planning to do. So this is Narada Muni's proposal. Actually, Narada Muni is testing determination of Dhruva Mahārāja here. And this is how he is proposing. Text 29. Paritutshet tattat tavad matrena purushah daivopasidam yavat vikshayishwaragatim buddha. Translation.
The process of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very wonderful. One who is intelligent should accept that process and be satisfied with whatever comes, favorable or unfavorable, by his supreme will. Purport. The great sage Narada instructed Dhruva Mahārāja that one should be satisfied in all circumstances. Everyone who is intelligent should know that because of our concept of bodily existence, we are subjected to suffering and enjoyment. One who is in the transcendental position, beyond the concept of bodily life, is considered to be intelligent. One who is a devotee especially accepts all reverses as gifts of the Supreme Lord. When a devotee is put into distress, he accepts this as God's mercy and offers him repeated obeisances with his body, mind, and intellect. An intelligent person, therefore, should be always satisfied depending on the mercy of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Narada further said that the process of the Supreme is always very wonderful. And therefore, the intelligent person should accept the process and be satisfied with whatever comes across his own way. That is the importance of santosha to be practiced in one's life. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that Narada is instructing Dhruva that one should be satisfied under all circumstances. One who is intelligent will understand that, just like later Prahlad Maharaj puts it very beautifully. He says that just like one attains dukkha ayatnataha, without any prayatna one attains dukkha, similarly the happiness also will come. You will start feeling happy the moment you stop searching for happiness, right? And especially this is true for a devotee. Prabhupada writes, one who is a devotee will accept all the reverses in one's life as a gift of the Supreme Lord. This is the prayer of Brahmaji. Tatenu kampa sushamikshamano bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam ridvakva purvir vidadan namaste jive tayo mukti pade sataya bhak. And thus he will offer repeated obeisances with body, mind and intellect. And this is how the intelligent person should always be satisfied depending on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So what is the mindset of a devotee? Devotee is always satisfied and always progressing. Simple it is. Sometimes people say that, Prabhuji, it doesn't mean that we have to kill all our ambitions. No. We are grateful to whatever we have and we are progressive, that however we can progress so that we can better serve the Lord and the Vaishnavas. So it takes care of both. that one is grateful. So, the one is satisfied, one is grateful. At the same time, one is progressing. And again, it has to be age appropriate, right? Somebody hearing this in 20s, somebody hearing this in 70s will have, different connotations to this. Text 30. Athamatropadiштena yogena avarussasi yat prasadam savai pumsam duraradhyo mato mama. Translation.
Now you have decided to undertake the mystic process of meditation under the instruction of your mother, just to achieve the mercy of the Lord. But in my opinion, such austerities are not possible for any ordinary man. It is very difficult to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the process of Bhakti Yoga is simultaneously very difficult and very easy to perform. Shri Narad Muni, the Supreme Personality, the Supreme Spiritual Master, is testing Dhruva Mahārāja to see how determined he is to prosecute devotional service. This is the process of accepting a disciple. The great sage Narada has come to Dhruva under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead just to initiate him. Yet he is testing Dhruva's determination to execute the process. It is a fact, however, that for a sincere person, devotional service is very easy. But for one who is not determined and sincere, this process is very difficult.
Yeah. So you have decided to undertake this mystic process of meditation. But mind you, it is duraradhyo. It's very, very difficult and impossible for any ordinary person. And it is very difficult. Yat prasadat savai pumsam. Very difficult to satisfy the Supreme Personality. Right. So Narada is saying, it is so difficult to satisfy your boss. What to speak of the Supreme Boss? It is very difficult. The process you are undertaking is also very difficult. Think twice before you go ahead. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains the process of Bhakti Yoga is simultaneously very difficult and very easy to perform. Now, how it is very difficult? Just tell your lifestyle to outsider. He will crack down, there is a story of some devotees. They were doing Harinam Sankirtan in Australia, and the police just caught them. And they said that, that you have no permission to do Sankirtan here, the kind of a parade you are having. And they were arrested. And they were produced in front of the judge. And, judge was also very curious. And he said that, you are arrested for this. Anyway, what is your lifestyle? And the devotees began to say their lifestyle, that we get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, we take bath in the morning, then 4:30 we have this, and then prayer session, and then we do this, and then book distribution. And this judge was so surprised. He said that your lifestyle is far more punishing than the lifestyle in the, the Bandigriha, in the prison. So let them be released. So if we can just tell what we as a devotees do, people nowadays, meditation has become a buzzword. Everybody wants to do meditation. They say 5 minutes meditation. Devotee will do 2.5 hours of meditation, mantra meditation. Right? Getting up early. People get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So it is very difficult. At the same time, it is very easy to perform. If you ask a devotee, they naturally do 16 rounds and, naturally chant the holy names, naturally take only prasadam. And it is the second nature of a devotee. But here, Narada is testing determination of Dhruva Mahārāja. And Prabhupada says this is the process of accepting a disciple. Although he is sent by Bhagavan himself, but still Narada is testing Dhruva's determination. And Prabhupada says here, in fact, for a sincere person, devotional service is very easy. But for the one who is not determined and sincere, the process is very difficult. So in our own life, the days we are sincere, the process is very easy. The day we are not very sincere, each round will become like a mountain to cross. Okay. So this is how Narad Muni is testing his disciple, Dhruva. We'll just we'll just go through the next verse because it has only translation. Text 31. Munaya padavim tasya nissangena urujanmabhi navidu mragayantapi tivra yoga samadhina. Translation.
Narada Muni was after trying the process of many births and remaining unattached to material contamination, freezing themselves continuously to trace and execute many type of austerities. Many mystic yogis were unable to find the end of the path of the God realization.
So Narada says the process you are going to follow, after trying this process for many births, right? Not just one birth. Bahunam janmanamante. Bahunam janmanam. After many births, they are remaining unattached to material contamination, placing themselves continuously in the trance, Tivra Yoga Samadhina, and executing many types of tapasya. So many births, many trance, many tapasyas, they were still unable to find the end of the path of God's realization. And they are called as Munavim, Munayaha Padavim Yasya. What to speak of you, my dear child? You are just a child. You are just offended by one instance of your mother speaking harshly. Just be attached to Krida Sakteshu. Just enjoy your life. You are already a Rajaputra. And don't take on this Herculean task of pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is how Narada is continue to test Dhruva Maharaj. We'll conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.